All right, everyone to your places.
We're ready in here, sir.
How are we in the studio?
Stand by, sir. Hit the lights.
Yes, sir. Striking.
Quiet on the set, please. We're on in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Buenas noches, Mr. Nolan. Soy Daniel
Buenas noches,
Pineda.
señor Pineda.
My name is Adele Quo, and I'm wearing an original Zanfei design.
Oh,
Very
wow.
nice. Thanks,
Fancy.
Adele. Here we go with our last show in March 2017. Holy cow, spring is upon us.
Going
And
fast.
hopefully the wind and the snow and all the cold temperatures are history, think of the past, and spring is here.
In with
the
the
cherry
lamb.
blossoms
No,
are out.
yeah.
And what?
In with the lion, out with the lamb.
That's right. Well, in like a lion, out like a lamb. I
so-
guess that's March. Or is that March or spring? I don't know. Anyway, we have our usual lineup of stuff here, news and community bulletin board. And as you know, Adele is here with
It's easy being
green. We got it right that time. Our
We always
community
do.
bulletin board, news for seniors, a couple of roll-ins, and that sort of stuff, and that's our show. But before we go, here's a social media reminder from my partner here.
That's right, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News. And the number one, also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. You didn't put the number one sign up, correct?
Number one, I just did. I remembered a little late
All right,
tonight.
on to the news.
All right, on to the news. Here we go. The news. Well, on Wednesday, March 22nd, 3 armed robbers entered a 7-Eleven in Shirlington. The suspects escaped with cash and merchandise. The same store, located at 2815 South Wakefield Street, was robbed in fall of 2015 by another couple of bandits. Police described the first suspect as a white male, possibly Hispanic, approximately 5'5" to 5'11" in height, weighing 150 to 180 pounds, wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, khaki pants, and white shoes. The second robber was listed as a white male, possibly Hispanic, about the same height, 5'5" to 5'11", and weight, 150 to 180, wearing a tan jacket, blue jeans, and white shoes. There's no word on what the third suspect looked like. If you have any information, the police are asking you to give them a call. Daniel.
Well, the county board just signed off on a venture hub to advance the county's tech community. Signway Ventures, the company providing the Venture Hub, works by building a synergistic ecosystem of startup companies, venture capital, and investors, and public and private sector partners. The board expects Venture Hub to provide 391 new jobs over 5 years. And according to the county's website, they will fund the initiative with up to $250,000 in performance-based incentive grants. Also, according to the website, Venture Hub will be a first-of-its-kind effort in the region. Also nearby are Tech Incubator, 1776, Maker Workshop, Tech Shop, and several established and startup technology companies. Craig.
All right, Daniel, and also in our news items, the county board has honored almost 24, that's 24 by my count, sustainable transportation-oriented companies. Arlington Transportation Partners Champions Program supports organizations as communities switch to more environmentally friendly commuter options. The 22 platinum level champions earned that distinction by implementing incentive programs that successfully encourage more people to walk, bike, share car rides, or use public transportation. Some of those platinum champion companies are Hilton Garden Inn in Arlington, in Shirlington, United States Army National Guard Readiness Center, Arlington Hall Station, Avalon at Arlington Square, the Beacon Clarendon, and Oak Ridge Elementary School. Congratulations to those Arlington companies. Daniel.
Such a big achievement, Craig.
It is.
Well, the county recently formally authorized the county manager to sell a famous and contentious historical building while keeping the remainder of the property for use as a public park. 117-year-old Reeves farmhouse and the Reeves land property it sits on have been used as a museum and park since the start of the millennium. Last year, the board voted to divide the property so that the farm could be sold and the parkland kept. In a 3-2 vote, the winning side cited the inability of the farm's caretaker organization to find an investment partner willing to pay for its renovation and maintenance. Both parcels of land will retain a historical designation, and the new farm owner will have to adhere to certain guidelines in order to purchase it, whether it remains open to the public or becomes a private home. Craig.
And also in the news, according to a GQ magazine, snowflake, the term snowflake has become a popular term to insult people in the current political climate. The term supposedly originated with author Chuck Palahniuk, in his book Fight Club, with one of the characters telling an audience, quote now, we're quoting now, "You're not a beautiful and unique snowflake, you're the same decaying organic matter as all of the rest of us." Now, Boston-based instigator wants to turn the insult into a compliment and a campaign rallying cry against President Trump's agenda. He's decided to start producing multicolored snowflake pins to present a multitude of issues, or to represent rather. The profits will support charities and advocacy groups. Getter cited the use of the word snowflake by people opposed to the Women's March on Washington to demonstrate contempt for participants as the inspiration for the idea. Hope you got all that. We'll get more information on snowflake as it becomes available. And we'll be back with our CBB Community Bulletin Board file right after we hear from Adele Quo and
It's easy being green.
Here's Adele.
All right,
Take it
yay!
away.
Similar to the upsets in March Madness, we're gonna shake things up with a Final Four type mystery of tree of the month. So our first mystery tree is like North Carolina, the Final Four elder of the bunch or newcomers. It's an old timer. Going all the way back to George Washington days, he reported in his diary on many occasions about the beauty of this Northern Virginia native tree and spent many hours in his garden transplanting seedlings obtained from the nearby forests. Like GW, Joe Tree Frog and I, we can't sing enough praises for this early spring blooming understory tree. Bright rosy pink flowers, which grow directly on stems and trunks, emerge in March, April to brighten up any landscape. It belongs to the same family as peas, therefore the flowers are edible. The heart-shaped leaves make it easy to recognize an ID. Many cultivars of this tree are available with purple, golden, or variegated leaves, or white flowers, and weeping forms. Some other mystery trees here are like our other newcomers, Gonzaga and South Carolina, in the Final Four. Mystery plants number 2 and number 3 may not be as familiar household names, but watch out for both of these power flowers. Mystery tree number 2 can be a large shrub or small tree. Showy panicles of bright red tubular flowers bloom in April to May and attract hummingbirds. A mature specimen in bloom takes your breath away. The tropical-looking leaves will help make it easier to ID. Easy Being Green wants to raise awareness for mystery plant number 3 so it can replace non-native forsythia. Dense clusters of aromatic pale yellow flowers bloom before the leaves emerge, giving this Nova native shrub a subtler yellow glow in your garden to welcome spring. And showy red fruit and foliage are aromatic, plus you can make a tea from its leaves and twigs. In fall, the foliage turns a lovely golden yellow. So mystery plants number 2 and 3 may prove everyone wrong about winning plants for your garden. Finally, like Oregon, who hasn't been to the Final Four since 1939, mystery shrub number 4 is going to be a shock to most people who didn't see it coming. It belongs to a large and confusing genus of over 1,000 species. A fragrant secret of our Nova woodlands. Clusters of long-lasting pink to white flowers will thrill you April to May and fill the air with sweet honeysuckle scent, while fall foliage in shades of red, orange, and yellow are quite exciting. So email me your best guesses for the Final Four mystery trees of the month, AdeleK at easybeingreen@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And that's all I have time this week.
Go North Carolina. I want
Oh,
North Carolina.
yes. Woo.
I like that. You can make tea from the blossoms and the twigs
That's
from
right.
these trees. That's
or
amazing.
eat the flowers of the
Or
first
eat
one.
them themselves.
Throw them in a salad.
I've got my ideas, but I'll have to send them in, and we hope you do too. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
Thank
with
you.
our Mystery Tree of the Month segment on her EBG segment. Here we go, as promised now, our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. Well, if you're not familiar with the 18-year-old annual Artomatic Festival, then now is a good time to visit or even get involved. The event is hosted by the Artomatic nonprofit to, in their words, and we're quoting now, create community, build audience, and expand economic development by transforming available space into a playground for artistic expression. It runs from the end of March until May 6th down in Crystal City. If you want to submit a performing arts piece or a film, registration is still open. Visual arts registration is closed, but you can see plenty of paintings and photographs. They're located at 1800 South Bell Street. Location is the above the University of Phoenix and Cinetic Theater next to Crystal City Marriott. You can visit their website, should be on your screen there, www.artomatic.org for more details and to register. Daniel.
Well, Craig, Arlington Economic Development is hosting a job fair and conference on, quote, bridging the gap between educating, finding and placing talent. Leaders from the education, nonprofit, and private sectors will discuss methods for connecting employed and unemployed people of all backgrounds with the right jobs and providing training where skilled workers are in short supply. Topics include business, education, including education technology, big data, and cybersecurity. The event will be on Wednesday, that's April the 5th, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. from George Mason University's Founders Hall. Tickets range from free to $25. Visit, and you guessed it, Craig, tinyurl.com/HiredArlington2017 for more information and, of course, to register.
I've yet to see a full-size URL, only tiny URL.
Tiny URL. Craig.
And also in our CBB Community Bulletin Board file, if you're interested in bocce ball, volunteers are still needed to teach senior adults eager to learn the game. Volunteers are needed 1 hour per week for 3 months, April through June. Location 2909 South 16th Street in Arlington, zip 22204. Daniel.
And Craig, no confusion for Adele, but confused about what to plant and what plants to work best in the area? We'll learn how to select plants that will grow best on your site. A plant selection workshop will present ideas for native plant alternatives to commonly used non-native plants, how to plant wisely to help you plant successfully, and identifying and removing invasive plants. You'll take away information that can help you navigate the wide choice of plants available. It takes place on Saturday, April the 1st, 2017, from 9 a.m. to noon. The location is the Fairlington Community Center. That's located at 3308 South Stafford Street in Arlington. Craig.
All right, Daniel, that's it for our CBB file. We'll be back with news for seniors right after we hear from Nort Beckerman in a brain healthy moment. Here's Nort.
Hi, I'm Nort Beckerman, author of A User's Guide to a Healthy Brain. Did you know that you have a new brain? Well, sort of. You still have the same brain you were born with, but the way it develops and functions is much different than anyone ever imagined. The internal structure of the brain you have today is much different than the brain you had when you were a kid, even a young adult. Actually, it's different than the brain you had last year, last month, or last week. That's because the internal structure of your brain is constantly changing in response to what you do and don't do. They call it plasticity. Your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin are sensors that transmit information back to your brain. Your brain has been recording the information it's been receiving since you were born and making a map of it all. Transmissions made together are located together so that they describe behavioral sections. The more you do something, the more information you receive and the bigger the map section recorded, the better you get. That's why we practice. If you receive information from two sensors at the same time, like your eyes and ears, the map section that's recorded will be bigger and stronger than if received from a single sensor. If you do something infrequently, your brain map will only show it as a small section, and your skill in that area will probably be limited. Your brain map reflects how information is stored and how your blood is distributed to tissues and cells. The law of plasticity causes information to be stored according to importance. The more you do or use something, the bigger the section on the map, and the more important it is. The less you do something, the smaller it gets and the less important it is. The bigger the map section, the more blood it draws. The smaller the section, the less blood it draws. If it gets too small, it might not draw any blood at all and eventually disappear. You know the saying, use it or lose it. I'm Nort Beckerman. I'll see you next time for a brain healthy moment.
All right, thanks, Nort. And before we begin our News for Seniors segment, today, as of this taping, March 29th, would have been our friend Rich Masabny's 81st birthday. So we offer you a belated happy birthday from all of us here, and know that your spirit is still with us, and you set the bar for us, so we're just trying to keep up. And happy birthday to
Happy
Rich
birthday.
in the memory and spirit of Rich Masabny, who is a big part of our show here for many years. All right, moving right along now with our News for Seniors segment. Well, if you enjoy live big band music, you're in for a treat. Coming up April 3rd, you can come on down to the Walter Reed Community Center and park at 8 in the evening and see the Tom Cunningham Orchestra. They'll be performing some toe-tapping jazz swing music, 17-piece band, and they're good. Full sound will make you feel like dancing, even if you decide to just sit and listen. Lasts till about 9:45, so don't be late. Location again, 2909 16th Street South in Arlington. Zip is 22204. Admission is free, FREE free. For more information, give them a call and talk to Leanne, if she answers the phone, at 703-228-0955. Daniel.
Thank you, Craig. And as Craig mentioned, happy birthday to Rich Masabny. Well, have you ever wondered what it must be like to work for a taxi cab company? Here's your chance to find out risk-free from someone who knows. Red Top Dispatch Supervisor Tom Chiricura will provide an inside view of the inner operations of a taxi cab company from the time you call in right to your arrival time to your destination. The presentation is also being held at the Walter Reed Community Senior Center and Park from 10 to 11 a.m. on April the 4th. Admission is free. Once again, you can contact for more information, and that contact is Leanne Canuet. So give her a call. That's at 703-228-0955 for more information. Craig.
All right, Daniel, that's News for Seniors. Only 2 items tonight. We hopefully will have some more News for Seniors for you next week, and we'll be back with a quick bye-bye right after we hear from Miriam Gennari and another installment of Sustainable Scoop. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Well, the weather's starting to warm up a little bit, and everybody wants to get outside. So where do you go? Are there parks in this urban area where you can still enjoy yourself and admire nature? Well, telling us about that today is Michael Nardolilli. He's the chairman of Nova Parks, and he's also the president of the Outdoor Lab. Welcome back, Mike.
Oh, I always enjoy this.
Well, I always enjoy hearing what's going on. I don't know where to start. Should we start? Let's start locally, sure. Because most of our viewers that watch us on the network are here in Arlington. What's happening with our Arlington parks?
Well, we have in the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority, also known as Nova Parks, we have 3 regional parks here in Arlington, and all 3 offer very different experiences for Arlington residents. Probably our most famous is the Washington Old Dominion Bike Trail, and this is a 45-mile long trail that goes from Purcellville all the way down to Shirlington. and people bike on it all the time. It's used as a commuter route, and it's just such a great asset. Over 2 million people a year travel on the W&OD trail. It used to be an old railroad line that then was purchased by the Regional Park Authority and turned into this first-class trail. It's actually in the Hall of Fame of trails in the United States. It's one of the premier bicycle trails.
It's why people love to bike here and commute. You know, this is their mode of transportation, those that live along the trail.
And what we have found is that as people are commuting more and more, that the what's called at-grade crossings become an issue, because then you have conflicts between traffic and bicycles and pedestrians. And so most of the viewers probably are familiar with the Route 7 bridge. There's a bridge on the W&OD that goes over busy Route 7 in Falls Church. And what we're trying to do is, through the entire system, is put in these bridges so that it eliminates this conflict between cars and bicycles. And I'm very proud to say that we are working now on a bridge in Arlington over Route 29, which is Washington Boulevard in East Falls Church. That bridge, which will be paid for by the Virginia Department of Transportation as part of the mitigation.
Way to get that money while you can.
That's exactly right. And that will be a great asset for the W&OD, because this way you won't have this conflict at the intersection there with Lee Highway, where it comes across the bridge over I-66 right in East Falls Church. Instead, bicyclists be able to go at a straight shot.
And there's a lot of commuters on that trail.
There are.
All right, well, that's great. What else?
Okay.
What else is going on?
The other the two other parks, Upton Hill Regional Park, is more of a active recreational park, and this was going back to the days when there was the pool and then the golf course was there. We put in a lot of investments in there, including redoing the entrance area and the bathrooms, and it's really an exciting experience.
Welcoming, very welcoming.
And it's a beautiful park too. I mean, we preserve the nature of those hillsides there, but also make it an active recreational park. And right now we're working with the neighboring civic associations to try to get even more exciting things for people to do at Upton Hill.
Isn't that great? You're going to get more people outside.
That's correct.
And now one of my favorite places I know you're going to talk about is Potomac Overlook.
Right. Potomac Overlook is a gem, a natural gem, 69 acres right there in North Arlington. And it's a beautiful place. It has a nature center, and that we just finished actually an invasive removal and also repairs to the trails there. And so we are hopeful that we can get volunteers to come out to help us take care and maintain this park, and also give us ideas about how to freshen up the exhibits there and become more involved with their park and the planning of the park. So,
allow me to hit the giving that we would also like them to do. We would like them to help fund the parks.
That's correct.
It's a very small amount of money that makes a big difference in our national parks.
Well, and the regional park system has a relationship with the Community Foundation of Northern Virginia. And so you can either go on the Nova Parks website, novaparks.org, or you can go to the Community Foundation if you want to contribute to the programs that we have in our regional parks.
And now you have a 50th anniversary coming up, and you have an open house in May where people can go out to the Outdoor Lab.
That's correct. The Arlington Outdoor Lab is 50 years young, and we're celebrating this year. And our May 20th open house will take place from 1 to 5 at the Outdoor Lab, which is located in Broad Run, Virginia. 225 acres of beauty and recreational opportunities. We have a pond there. You can go boating, you can go fishing, you can go hiking, and we also have s'mores and hot dogs around the campfire. And this will be on May 20th from 1 to 5 p.m. And so all Arlingtonians are invited to come out. It's free, and it's a great day to spend on the outdoors. And our directions to get there are on our website at outdoorlab.org.
And let me just say that any child that goes to the Outdoor Lab is changed for life. So just imagine what a spark it can bring back to us.
Oh, certainly.
A real appreciation of nature.
Oh, and 9,000 Arlington County Public School kids come out there every year for their outdoor education and science learning, and many of them are changed for life. You're absolutely right.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Mike, for coming back to see us and reminding us to get out to our parks and reminding us to support them. I hope they'll find you online. I hope they'll go to the Outdoor Lab on May
20th.
May 20th. I know I'll be there, and I do hope that our guests will be, our viewers will be there. Thanks again to Michael Nardolilli. I'm Miriam Gennari. That's the Sustainable Scoop. Thanks for listening and watching. Back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Miriam. We always appreciate your sustainable scoop, talking about that O&D.
W-O-N-D.
W-O-N-D
Yes.
bike trail, which is a great trail, a long trail.
Oh, very long trail.
And it'd be nice to ride just a
One of
portion of
these
that
days.
someday as soon as I get a bike.
It's got to be a
buy a
to-do.
bike first, Greg.
That's got to be a bucket list item for
That
a
would
lot
be a
of people.
bucket list. Getting a bike might be a bucket list item.
And
for
weather
me.
is getting better, Craig. So
It's that time
It's that
of year.
time. It's that time.
This is
Go to
our,
Toys R Us.
This is our April 1st show for 2017, so we hope you're enjoying it. And the spring weather is upon us, although we do need some rain. It's been a little dry, right? Are we in a drought?
I think we're going to
condition
get rain
pretty
on Friday.
We've got some rain coming.
But we've got North Carolina, South Carolina, Oregon, and Gonzaga.
Saturday.
I
the big game.
like Gonzaga.
I'm going with North Carolina. You, Adele?
Oh, gosh. Oregon.
I think she forgot the names. She forgot the names there.
None
Come on,
of these
Adele.
teams. I mean, my team's out, so Oregon. I'm going to have to go with the West Coast
All right,
team.
whatever, just pick a team,
Yes.
any team, whatever pops up there. Okay, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Next week, if you're there, we'll be here, and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Happy spring. Bye-bye.